playing recreational soccer at a young age and then became a competitive soccer player when you were a little older, played in college, then opened your own goalkeeper training academy. Tell me what other jobs you've had in soccer since then.
I opened the goalkeeper academy in 2012 when I was coaching for Cal Poly. And the reason why I opened the academy was there was such few specialization of the goalkeeper on the Central Coast. There weren't very many opportunities for kids to do it. So I didn't want to work for one club. So I opened up this training academy so I could teach kids from all over the Central Coast. So from there, that kind of was the catalyst that got me really started in the education of the sport. So since then, when I left Cal Poly, I started coaching at University of the Pacific. From there, I became a director at a youth soccer club in Pleasanton, which then I took a larger role as a technical director at a youth soccer club in Dublin. In 2017, I turned the Goalkeeper Academy from Camps and Clinics into its own business, and we went from sole proprietorship into a limited liability company, and from there we started expanding. So we went from Camps and Clinics to now, to fast forward, we have 11 youth contracts today that we service between the Central Coast, the East Bay, and the greater Sacramento area. I'm also the executive director for Vacaville United Soccer Club, the head coach for FC Davis, which is a semi-pro team. Back in 2019, I was coaching full pro for the Oakland Roots. So I had that job. I've coached for the Olympic Development Program as a head coach and for the Player Development Program. Served as vice chair for the local league that we compete in, which is called NorCal. And also served as a scout for the Olympic Development Program and Player Development Programs. And in 2021, after I left the Oakland Roots, I started coaching for San Francisco State University. I left them in spring of 2023 to be the interim head coach for Cal State East Bay. And then now I'm just coaching FC Davis and the executive director for Vacaville, along with my goalkeeper academy. I'm still the chief executive officer for the goalkeeper academy.
What made you decide to have a career in sports management / coaching?
It was my education within it. I started coaching while I was in college, and I did that as a way of being a part of the game and giving back, and also to make money while I was playing. After I graduated, I got an opportunity to be a director. I wanted to see how that went. I was very passionate about what I was doing. I enjoyed it a lot, so I wanted to see how that would go. That led to me getting hired at Cal Poly, and that was a very competitive professional environment that I enjoyed, that I thrived in. And there I built the tools to open my own business. And so just one step led to the next step. And I enjoyed what I was doing. I wasn't just coaching soccer anymore. I was running a business. I was coaching at a university. I was a part of this really unique opportunity that not a lot of people get to be a part of within sports. And I found a way to make a living and live my passion. So I just kept doing it.
Do you think your parents made a good choice in letting you play different sports, or do you think it would have been better for them to let you focus on soccer only?
This is something I get asked a lot about as a coach and director now, is when should players start prioritizing, or is it good for them to be dual sport athletes? I've spent a lot of time traveling to the Netherlands, Germany, Spain, Italy, England. I've talked to coaches at the highest level, and even some youth academies at the very top level, like Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Barcelona even. They encourage their athletes to do multiple sports because the amount of dexterity, balance, coordination that you develop actually builds athleticism. And that's one of the things that we talk about all the time. Can you teach athleticism? Can you build it? And it's kind of like running mechanics, psychomotor skills. So yes, I definitely think, especially for me as a goalkeeper, playing basketball and baseball, that helped with my reaction time, my hand-eye coordination, catching. Basketball, you're catching all the time. You're reaching up, you're rebounding. And so for a goalkeeper, there's a lot of overlap. And I see that a lot with sports, even individual sports. There can be a lot of overlap. At Chelsea, In England, in the English Premier League, at the top level, athletes who are being paid $1 million a year within goalkeeping, their coach actually takes a tennis racket and he hits tennis balls at the goalkeeper, and then he catches the tennis balls because they're working on the hand and speed coordination. So even not just playing youth sports as a in your youth helps you, but there's crossover even at the highest level now.
How are the practices in your soccer club set up? Do the kids run a lot of technical drills? Are the practices set up to be fun? And if so, how and why is that important?
There's a lot in that question.
Yeah.
So, yes to all of it. So we have a interactive curriculum that's built and tailored towards the needs of the kids based on the age they're at and the level that they're also at. So it's not just one cookie cutter curriculum for everybody. It's tailored towards where the kids are. We believe in perception action coupling, which means that you're working on multiple stimuli at one time. So we train technically in tactical situations, because what we've found is if you train in isolation, then when you add the factors of the game, you have to relearn those skills. So we train in all game-like situations, even if it's a small microcosm of that. So we take the large game that it is now, and then we break it down until it's smaller and smaller and smaller, and then we build it back up in the training session. We start small and work bigger until you're in the game. But the United States Soccer Federation made a big push about 10 years ago with player initiatives where it has to be all about the game. And they came out with this model called play, practice, play. And so you start with free play, you go into your practice mode, and then you play again at the very end where you scrimmage. They've changed the model now, but the basic principle is solid. Why do kids come to practice for any sport? Because they want to play the game. So if you only run drills and drills and drills in isolation, that's not fun. You have to play the game, and whatever you're teaching, you have to correlate it back into the game. So that's the way that we teach. It's always the game. We always finish with the game, because if you're not having fun, then you don't come back.
Is playing games, not necessarily soccer games, incorporated into your practices? And if so, why?
Games are incredibly important. Even if there's two parts to it. Competition, where you teach how to be competitive, and so relays or things like that, if you're not talking about specific games, competing against each other will raise intrinsic motivation. If you're talking about kids, maybe they're introverted, sometimes it's games where you're competing against yourself. So you set a time and then you're trying to beat your own time. So you have to gauge it based on the kids that you're coaching. Some kids love the competitiveness amongst each other, and some just want to they find that pure pressure, and so then you have to change the game a little bit. So we always look at that within our groups. We're fortunate where we get 9 months with them, or technically 10 months with them out of the year where we're working, so we get to know them on a much more personal level, and the parents, and we spend time with their developmental plans, so we can really kind of piece that together. Some clubs only get 6 months with them, or 3 months if it's recreation, and that's a lot harder, but you still try to balance it out, but always the game, always about fun. Competition is good. You're going to have competition in any sport, so it's good to teach healthy competition. It's okay to win, it's okay to lose, but what did you learn, and then how can we try to make it better for next time?
What skills do you see the kids in your soccer clubs developing that will help them in their future jobs?
So we're believers of, whether it's my soccer club or my goalkeeper academy, I believe in teaching the total person, not just the soccer player. So you're coming to us to teach skills that are related to soccer. However, it is our goal to train the total person. So we have core values: integrity, honesty, discipline, positive attitude, open-mindedness. And so what we try to do is we try to instill those into every training session that we do. So, integrity, doing the right thing when no one's watching. If there's 11 kids out there and just one coach, and I set up these games or drills and it's an individual thing, are you doing the right thing when I'm not watching? So when I turn and you're not looking, I'll ask you, are you displaying integrity today, which is one of our core values? No. What does that mean? Okay, I'm going to go back over here. How can you display it even when no one's watching you? So those sports are not inherently a agent that builds all these characters, but us as leaders, we can use it as a way to do that: teamwork, camaraderie, leadership, integrity, motivating. How can you work harder to achieve your goals, goal setting. So that's what we try to do. We try to instill those values in what we do and then help kids prepare for their futures.
In your expert opinion, do you think playing sports helps kids do better in school?
Activity in general has been proven to make kids perform better in school. So when you get out and you're active and you exercise the body, it actually stimulates the mind and it helps you concentrate more. So kids oftentimes get restless in the school environment, and just going out recess, PE, those things help them perform better. I certainly think sports, and if children want to do it, competitive sports, help them excel in the classroom because there's an outlet for them to concentrate in a different way. Also, the core values that we're teaching them correlate into the classroom, and vice versa. The core values that teachers are instilling in the classroom about getting work done, hitting timelines, those also benefit in the sports realm. So there's a lot of correlation in that sense. And so 100%, sport definitely stimulates the mental capacity for people to go in and then concentrate and do the work that you want to do.
Thank you for being here for the interview.
My pleasure, anytime.